Good morning, y'all. Justin here. We starting a new house today. We out here. I'll show you the plans and what we got. All right, that's the house we're gonna be building, and it's lumber day. They getting everything out here, get going. But look, there's Claude. He on the job all the time. Claude, dog, what you doing, boy? But yeah, this is what we got. It's about 1,350 square foot of floor. There's a basement and the one floor, and then there's decks across the back here, and there's gonna be a porch up there on the front. But I'll keep y'all posted on everything. Y'all subscribe and like, and we show y'all how to build. Good evening, y'all. How y'all doing today? Hope everybody's had a good day. You know, day 2 out here on the job. We had a rough start the first day. Didn't get started, you know, after 12, but I'll show y'all the progress we got going. And look, there's old Claude again. Look at old pretty boy. But this is what we got so far. It's coming along pretty good. We got the outside walls up. We got one of the low bearing walls up, and got the other one going on. It takes a minute to do basement walls. You know, you gotta get your transit out, get your corner set up, and you need to run your string line, and you gotta cut every individual stud, you know, so you got a level floor up top. So all that takes a minute, but she's coming along pretty good. But I won't keep this in short, y'all. We tired. We're just a 3-man crew, me, my brother, and my nephew. But I hope everybody has a good evening. Good evening, y'all. Old Justin here. How y'all doing today? You know, thank the Lord we had a good day. I hope y'all did too. You know, it got hot today, didn't it? But we out here working, and I'll flip it around and show y'all what we got going. I was just curious what kind of work y'all did. If y'all don't mind, comment, let me know. Look, there's old Claude. Claude, what you doing, boy? Get your stick. You better get that stick. Ah, hell, he's tired. They done wore him out. But this is what we got going so far, y'all. I don't know if the phone's better sideways or not. I'm gonna try it. But you know, if I'm doing bad, y'all let me know. But today we got all the truss finished set on it, and we got the plywood ran. Tomorrow we're gonna try to get the Vantech down, and you know, get all the catwalk in or rat runs. It bracing. There's several different names, but right down the truss down there, there'll be some going right down through there in places. But I'll show y'all what we got a little bit. We still got some walls to build over there, but this is the gist of it all. You know, old floor truss, we hand set them, which ain't very big. They just a lot of them. Like I said, there's only 3 of us. But we ain't doing too bad. You know, we on day 4. Monday, you know, like I said, we had a rough start, but she's coming along. She's coming along. That's gonna be your stairs right there. Stair coming down. Staircase. Oh, sorry about the sun. But yeah, over there we still got a bathroom to build, a few walls, but they're interior 2x4 walls. We'll fill them in on a rainy day. And then you got to build nowadays, you got to, around this concrete, you got to build 2x4 all the way around it, 2x4 wall for insulation. But we just gonna show y'all what we got going here, and y'all have a good evening. How are y'all today? I hope everybody's having a good weekend and at home relaxing, and you know, just taking it easy. I'm sorry, you know, I didn't get around to posting the video Friday. We didn't work till like 11 o'clock, and we had to go meet a homeowner. You know, we had to go look at another job, tear a shed down, rebuild it and stuff. And we got back, and it was just too late. But I was wanting to show y'all from the top view of the truss, you know, when we started the Vantech. But let me flip my... See, that's what the top view of it looks like when you get all the truss down. I would go over there, but we ain't got no ramp set up, and you know, that's a big hole. You know, this old job's a little rough getting the plywood up there. You got to hand it from that stack there and hand it up and carry it out. You know, a lot of times we like to set us a ramp up or something, or they'd have it backfilled. But as you see, you either carrying it up the hill. We just figured we'd hand it up and be done with it. You know, it's a good workout. Hell, I go to the gym every morning before I come here and go to work. You know, I get 2 workouts one day. But we didn't make it. I mean, we had a decent week. We was hoping to get the whole floor down, but we had to go meet that homeowner. Next week, well, Monday, if it ain't gonna rain, we'll finish the deck up there, or finish, you know, putting the Vantech down. But I wanted to show y'all what it looked like. I'm sorry didn't post yesterday, but I'll be back Monday evening and let y'all see what we got done. Y'all have a good weekend. How y'all doing today? I just want to give y'all a quick update out here because we didn't post no video past few days. We ran out of studs yesterday, but I'll turn it around real quick. Then I'm gonna make a better video this evening. But that's what we got going so far. We got all the outside walls up and working on the interior walls. Still got a lot to go, but I'm gonna show y'all what little bit we got there. We'll keep y'all posted. Oh, forgot to show y'all, there's old Claude dog. Good evening, how y'all today? Old Justin here. Hope y'all had a good day, and you know, thank the Lord what a beautiful day we had today. We're here in Blairsville, Georgia. I don't know where y'all are at, but if y'all wouldn't mind, comment down below for me and old Claude. Old right there, he's sleeping. Claudel, you tired, boy? Yeah, he's wore out. But we got all the cripples done today. All of our windows are done. You know, we got a few interior walls in over there. We like 2 in the bathroom, and that side's done. And we like a long wall, load bearing that goes right through there, catch the truss. And then, you know, door it goes to the little deck over there. But hell, them cripples, you know, the windows, cutting them out, that's a lot of cutting, a lot of little cripples. It don't look like a lot, but it takes a while. It sure do. But you know, she's coming along. We ain't doing too bad. But I'm tired, y'all, and we just figured I'd show you what we got. I'm trying to do better, and I want to do better. If y'all would just comment for me. Thank y'all. Have a good evening. All right then, good evening. Old Justin here. How are y'all doing today? You know, sorry ain't made a video in a few days. We've been trying that out here to work. The weather been crazy for one. You know, we didn't work Monday, but all that being said, you know, we got our plywood on the walls for the most part. Got the rest of the walls framed up on the interior. All that's done. We you know, normally this is a little different. We got our roof trusses. They're right there. I guess we're gonna set them tomorrow. We got the boom truck coming, but you know, normally we like to backfill all this first, and there's a little deck that goes back there, and up here in the front. Hey, Claude, what you doing, boy? Who's a good boy? Come on, go get your stick. Look, get your stick. Go get it, Claude. But yeah, I said we're going to try to set those trusses tomorrow. We had the boom truck coming. I'll give y'all a little video of that. But as y'all can see, we got all the plywood up. But there's a big old deck that goes right through here, and it's going to be covered too. But we got to stick frame it, so that's why we got to do this one a little different. And if that plywood's hanging down right there, because that's a gable that goes up, and we want to tie it in, we could have put that little bit of plywood on, because this roof gets changed up a little. But you know, tomorrow morning I feel a little better. We're a little tired. I'll go over everything and I'll show y'all the inside and get y'all a little better video. Everybody have a good evening. Look, there's old Claude. Everybody, hey, y'all like and subscribe for old Claude dog. Have a good night. How's everybody doing today? Old Justin here. Hope y'all have had a good day and all. And you know, yesterday I was telling y'all I thought we was gonna get the set truss today. We had the boom truck trying to get here, but he wasn't able to show up. So it ain't gonna look like we done a whole lot, but we did have some prep work and stuff to get done. You know, there's things you need to do before you set truss. Like, I'll flip the phone around real quick and let y'all see old Claude. What you doing, boy? Who's a good boy? Hey, I need y'all to like and subscribe. Old Claude's hungry. Thank y'all. But anyway, back to the work here. You see those 2x4s that's sticking up right there? Those are called California corners. We got them on all 4 sides, because the way this roof goes, those trusses right there are vaulted, and them will set down the they're gonna go right down the middle here, you know, down through here. They'll have them a vaulted ceiling all down the main here. That'll be vaulted. And then on the sides over there, it'd just be, them trucks, you see how those 2x4s are standing up? Those are other California corners. That'll hold the gable coming this way. And then same thing over here. That side is set from the outside coming in, and all this will be vaulted. And these right here is just gonna be regular flat joists, you know, just regular ceiling. It's gonna be flat through there. Your trusses are set. But yeah, you put them up. Those right there's your bracings to hold it for you. And if y'all ain't never seen, I was gonna show y'all what the truss plans look like right here. This is what you go off of. But I know y'all don't know what y'all looking at, or some of y'all will, but you know, it's kind of hard to make out. But this is the vaulted ones in the middle, and they'll set from this wall to this wall, and then these other ones turn this way, and they'll set this direction. And then, you know, right here's the valleys. We have to do a build back right there, which I'll get all that and show y'all how it does. And I'm gonna get me another drone and stuff, so I'll get y'all some real good footage. Y'all just bear with me, and y'all subscribe and like for old Claude, dog. He getting hungry. See y'all. Well, y'all, it's a trust day. That ain't the right boom truck, but it's doing the job, I reckon. It ain't the easiest. That thing only gets to about right there, and then we got to damn carry them down the wall to there. But she's coming along. That's what she's looking like. There's my brother over there, and there's my nephew. Hey, there's Claude. All right, we'll get back at it. We'll make a video later. All right, then, good evening, y'all. How y'all doing? We got it done today. Well, I ain't gonna make a very long video today, but I'll flip the phone around and show y'all. It didn't take, what, 2.5 hours? About 2.5 hours we got them bad boys set. But there y'all go. We got them up. See, that's what I was talking about, how they turn back. You see right there, that's where we got to build back. There's a ridge that goes there, then valleys to fill in, same thing over there. And there's gonna be a porch and a deck on the front. We got to build that roof out, but we'll go over that more come Monday. Y'all have a good day. Good morning, y'all. How everybody doing today? Old Justin here. We back on our frame job here, and gonna tell y'all what we got going today. We're gonna try to get the gables, you know, gable studded there sometime today. There's 2 windows that I'll flip it around. There's 2 windows that go in up there toward the center, but they don't have our dimensions yet. So I was gonna gable stud this morning, but I don't think we're gonna do that. The same thing up there in the front. But our plan now is gonna be to, on those, we gotta run our rat runs. We'll go, there's like 3 sections up there it's gotta be done. We'll get them ran, and then I'll start we'll start decking that a little bit today right there. What we'll do is we'll get all of our plywood down on that on the main roof, and then we'll do our build back right there, because that makes it easy. You know, you got something to walk on at that point. And I wish they'd backfill this thing. Don't know when they're gonna get it done, because, you know, we got to build a porch back here, and it gets a covered roof. And then up there in the front, same thing, but they gotta get her backfilled first. Hey, Claude, Claudel, get your stick, boy. Claude, boy, he smells something. Something been up here on her job. What you smell, Claude? Well, that's what we got going today. Hey, y'all, real quick, my birthday's Monday. I'll be 38, and all I ask is for all y'all that watch, you know, please subscribe for me, you know, Claude. And I'll be 38, and Claude's birthday's in June. He'll be 7, so y'all please subscribe and like. Thank y'all. All right, y'all, we got our first run of plywood down, and we up here on the roof, and I'll show y'all what that is. Like I said, at the end of the day, I'm gonna try to put all this together in one video and see how it comes out. But I'll flip it around. All right, we got our first run down. That's always your hardest to get down, but we got to use plywood clips too. That's what those are. But we'll show you what that looks like. Get tied in. But see, there's your rat runs. There's 1, 2, and then 3 over yonder. Now we're going to get the plywood down, and we'll do this build back in, and we'll show you how that is. All right, we're gonna get back at it, y'all. You good?
Yep.
We're doing this for a toe board right here. You take this to catch them up with. Fill it down, you got a good footman. Alright. You got it when you spin it, Wayne? The rough tube. This is what you got to do to get the damn plywood up here. We'll show you real quick for y'all that don't know. It ain't as easy as it looks. Damn old framers go through hell. They got about the hardest job. Luckily, these plywood's new, and we ain't having to fight these clips, so that's how you do it. All right, we'll get back in. All right, y'all, I forgot to tell y'all, whenever we're popping this, when you run this line to plane it out and you pop it, I'll show you that line that you plane out and pop up through there. You do not put that valley board on there. That's where your plywood planes out at. You want that to be off of that, so when you run your plywood will plane on that line. And there's what your rafters look like. We working on them now. We got a couple in, but see, you got them long cuts like that. That's a 5 to a 68 degree on a 35 degree bevel. That's the cut. Long of a long. But she coming along, y'all. We working on her now. We keep you updated. Well, Old Justin here. Thank you, Lord. We made it to the end of the day. You know, it was a beautiful day. Thank you, Jesus. Everybody made it out good. You know, we got our build back done and a little more plywood run. But I showed it around. Show you in a minute. We would have got all this plywood run today, but the plumbers kind of got in the way. We didn't want to be working around them, so we started to do some other stuff for a minute. But we that's what we got our build back done. You know, valley's tied back in there, and same thing on the other side over there. I was saying they need to come backfill this dang thing for us. Claude, bring your disc. Claudel, get your disc, boy. Get your disc. Come on, let's see it. He loves that disc, y'all. Claude, let me see that disc. But and then see, there's your build back up there. We got all that done. We got the plywood on the front side. Claude, let me see your disc, boo boo. Go get it. Watch, catch it, Claude. Go catch that disc. Oh, he barely missed it. Good boy, come on. Come here, Bobo. That's his favorite toy right there. But anyway, get back to this, you know. Like I said, you know, it's taking a little longer than what we wanted, but it ain't no big deal. The way we normally would want all of our porches and stuff built so we can carry that roof out, because we got stick frame that roof. That's why we have that plywood broke back like that. We're going to end up having to put a piece of deadwood or another rafter up against that, and that's going to come out with that roof, and the same thing on the front up there. But until they get it backfilled, ain't much we could do. But there y'all folks go. It's the end of the day and we tired, and I just wanted to show y'all the build back, and we coming along slowly but surely. Y'all comment and subscribe. We appreciate y'all. Thank you. Good morning, y'all. How everybody doing today? Old Justin here. We back on our frame job here, and gonna tell y'all what we got going today. We're gonna try to get the gables, you know, gable studded there sometime today. There's two windows that I'll flip it around. There's two windows that go in up there toward the center, but they don't have our dimensions yet. So I was going to gable stud this morning, but I don't think we're going to do that. The same thing up there in the front. But our plan now is going to be to, on those, we got to run our rat runs. We'll go, there's like 3 sections up there. It's got to be done. We'll get them ran, and then I'll start putting some, we'll start decking that a little bit today right there. What we'll do is we'll get all of our plywood down on that on the main roof, and then we'll do our build back right there, because that makes it easy. You know, you got something to walk on at that point. And I wish they'd backfill this thing. Don't know when they're going to get it done, because, you know, we got to build a porch back here, and it gets a covered roof. And then up there in the front, same thing. But they got to get her backfilled first. Hey, Claude. Claudel, get your stick, boy. Claude. Boy, he smells something. Something been up here on her job. What you smell, Claude? Well, that's what we got going today. Hey, y'all, real quick, my birthday's Monday. I'll be 38, and all I ask is for all y'all that watch, you know, please subscribe for me, you know, Claude. And I'll be 38, and Claude's birthday's in June. He'll be 7, so y'all please subscribe and like. Thank y'all. All right, y'all, we got a rat runs run on the main section that we're going to do. I'm going to try to do a little different day and edit a video toward the end of the day of showing y'all, you know, like I said, we're going to do rat runs of plywood. So let me flip the phone. Right there's your few little bracing I was talking about, the 2x4s down the center there. There's 1, 2, and 3 right through there. And now we're going to get up there, pop a line, and run the plywood. And we'll try to post back later. All right, y'all, we got our first run of plywood down, and we up here on the roof, and I'll show y'all what that is. Like I said, at the end of the day, I'm gonna try to put all this together in one video and see how it comes out. But I'll flip it around. All right, we got our first run down. That's always your hardest to get down, but we got to use plywood clips too. That's what those are. But we'll show you what that looks like. Get tied in. But see, there's your rat runs. There's 1, 2, and then 3 over yonder. Now we're going to get the plywood down, and we'll do this build back in, and we'll show you how that is. All right, we're gonna get back at it, y'all. You good? Yep. All right, we're doing this for a toe board right here. You take this to catch them up with. Fill it down so you got a good footman. All right. Then you got it when you spin it, Wayne. Yeah, the rough tube. This is what you gotta do to get the damn plywood up here. We'll show you real quick for y'all that don't know. It ain't as easy as it looks. Damn old framers go through hell. They got about the hardest job. Luckily, these plywood's new, and we ain't having to fight these clips, so That's how you do it. All right, we'll get back in. Oh, Claude, dog. What you doing, boy? Hey, Claude. How you doing, boy? Get him, Claude. Talk to us, boy. Go get your stick. Oh, where's it at? You better go get it. Claudel, go find your stick, boy. Let's go. Good boy. All right, then, y'all. We up here working on the build back now, and I'll show y'all how that goes like I told y'all I would, how you come up with this real quick. Now, to put your ridge in right there, the easiest way we find it is take and run your string line across the top of your ridge there. Get it lined up, and then you get it where it's over there and it's just barely touching. You mark it, and then put your ridge in, measure T long, be level every time, and then just plane you a line, pop it to there, and we're about to put our valley boards in right through here. And I'll show y'all more in a minute, but that's what it's starting to look like back up some. But that's how you tie it in. That's what it looks like when you get your little ridge tied in there. All right, we get back to work. All right, y'all, I forgot to tell y'all, whenever we're popping this, when you run this line to plane it out and you pop it, I'll show you that line that you plane out and pop up through there. You do not put that valley board on there. That's where your plywood planes out at. You want that to be off of that, so when you run your plywood will plane on that line. And there's what your rafter look like. We working on them now. We got a couple in, but see, you got them long cuts like that. That's a 5 to a 68 degree on a 35 degree bevel. That's the cut. Long of a long. But she coming along, y'all. We working on her now. We keep you updated. All right, then, how y'all today? We about to call it today. We ran out of material. Builder's supposed to be getting it out here, but we got half of our damn build back done over here, and we got the main part plywood, and we got what we wanted to get done, you know. Lord, it was a beautiful day. We're thankful. Thank you, Jesus. What a good day. And yeah, y'all, my birthday's Monday on March 30th. Why don't y'all subscribe for me? Y'all tune in. Me and Claude trying to make it. Let us do good. Oh, Claude will be 7 in June, but here, I'll turn the phone around real quick, show y'all. And all right, that's what your build back looks like when you get half of it done. See, old cuts nice and tight. Look at that, boys. What y'all think about that? I've seen some cuts on that damn TikTok now. I'd be ashamed of it. But yeah, she's coming along. We ain't do too bad. Up here on the peak, I'll show y'all. See, that's what we got to tie back in over there. You fill that in from that to that. That's how you do that. Look at that view. They got them a nice view. But I don't know where Claude is. I was gonna show y'all Claude, but all right, fellas, we tired. I'm gonna try to edit all this into one. Video. You know, we're gonna try to start doing things a little different, and we'll have a drone before too long. Let y'all see the work and stuff a little bit better. But thank y'all everybody that comments and likes, and y'all please subscribe. Y'all have a good evening.